Thank you very much for watching. Today we're going to talk about mentoring. Today I'm glad to be with a good friend, Chukwuebuka Uyanwa. He's a graduate of NYU Law School. He currently works in international tax planning, and his future goal is to craft tax policy for people in Africa.
Yeah, to help improve the lives of people in Africa.
Exactly.
Or people living in Africa.
Yes. So thank you for taking your time to come down, sit, and talk about mentorship. I think it's best, since we're both Christian, to start off with a Bible verse on that from Proverbs 15:22.
Sure.
So Proverbs 15:22 reads, "Without consultation and wise advice, plans are frustrated, but with many counselors, they are established and succeed."
Yes, that's really very helpful, and it's important. It's coming from Proverbs, which contains a lot of wisdom. And yes, mentorship, mentoring, it might be important to connect it to the historical context. It's connected to the Greek legend of Odysseus, and when Odysseus had to leave for a certain period of time, and he had to leave someone called mentor to tutor his son, and his son Telemachus. And another part of that story was when Athena, the Greek goddess, also had to change into the form of mentor just to also impart knowledge into Telemachus. So it might be interesting to just connect where we got the whole, at least the name mentor from.
Okay. Wow.
But mentorship, to define mentorship, it's basically a semi-structured relationship where someone who is usually more experienced or more knowledgeable in a certain area or certain field of life helps to impact that same knowledge or experience in someone less knowledgeable, less experienced in that certain period of life, all to this purpose of helping the less experienced one improve his or her life or career.
Wow.
So that's basically what mentorship is all about.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. I did not know. I did not know the roots. That's really good to know. That's really good to know. And let's talk a little bit more of what does that mean.
Sure. When it's important, and to get a good context of what mentorship is all about, it might be important to distinguish it from a role model. So that might help us to really understand what mentorship is all about. When you're talking about a role model is someone who you look up to, you aspire to, and usually it's not someone you've ever met or you're even ever going to meet.
Okay.
But that's different from mentorship. But mentorship is a relationship.
Yes.
Even whether it's formal or informal, but it's usually a relationship, and usually a face-to-face. So at least once in a while, it might not be very frequent, but it involves a relationship where you meet at least once in a while, and where someone signs up or takes it upon himself to help you improve your life or career. So it's really more. It's more of an invested relationship. You don't have that in a role model relationship. So I can have as many role models as I can want to have. I can read their books, watch them. I just emulate them. I see the way they are living their lives, and whatever I find attractive in their careers or in the way they live their lives or in their personalities, and I try to emulate that by watching how they do that, reading their books or reading up everything about them. So that's different between a role model relationship, or whatever, if you want to call it a relationship, and a mentor and mentee relationship, or a mentorship in that case. So it's important to note that it's a relationship, and there's usually some contact.
That's good. That's a really important distinction. And continuing along that line, so what should people look for? Are there different things to look for in a role model versus a mentor, or is a mentor essentially an accessible role model?
I think you said it well. That's the same way. That's the way I'm going to. I'll probably put it the same way. A mentor most probably an accessible role model.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And let's dive a little bit more. Are there certain things that you should look for in every mentor, such as if it's a spiritual mentor, you want to make sure that they're in Christianity, that they've had a certain timeline, certain background history, proven length of time which they've been faithful, versus in business where you want to see, if you're an entrepreneur, you want to see that they've been successful in a specific industry, versus someone else who may be more of a professional role model, where it's your job, it's more, okay, this is my boss, or this is someone who's like my boss and I can look up to. What are certain characteristics you would say for one or all of those models that you should?
Yeah, thank you for that question, because that is going to, so that leads me to an important fact that you don't need to have just one mentor. So you could have as many mentors as possible. The important thing, like you talked about the spiritual, talked about entrepreneurship, business, or whatever, the important thing is for you to decide what you want to achieve.
Yes.
So you think about for maybe your spiritual life, and you decide what you want to achieve in that spiritual life. That spiritual walk, what would you want to become in that area? Then the next step is to look for someone who, at least to the best of your knowledge, is living that kind of life.
Yes.
And then I will talk about how to approach that later. But you look for someone who is living that kind of life. And then, so the same thing for a business.
Yes.
What sort of business are you running? Has someone done that already?
Yes.
If you're leading a business of 200 or 500 employees, 5 billion in revenue or whatever, somebody else must have done that before.
Yes.
Or you're aspiring to lead a business of 5 billion in revenue and you're still at maybe 1 billion or whatever, but you hope to move to 5 billion, then you look for someone who has already done that and has probably exceeded that threshold, and probably something similar to your business. And so it's what you want. You need to determine what you're looking for, what the purpose of that relationship you're trying to establish. Then you go after it, and it could be in different areas of your life. So it mustn't be one person. Like you said, so it could be you could have a mentor for entrepreneurship, you can have a mentor for spiritual life, you can have a mentor for athletics or whatever sports, you could have a mentor for just general life and life advice, you could have a mentor for relationships, your marriage or whatever.
So I really like what you said about how you decide, how you choose a mentor based on what they're doing aligns with your goals or where you're at, especially for entrepreneurs, so you said something about expertise and if somebody's at the plateau that you wish to reach. It's ideal to have somebody who is in that expertise, but is there any leeway for maybe, okay, I'm in retail, there is no one that I've been able to reach who I would like to at this time, that I look up to. May I move over to maybe manufacturing, a mentor of manufacturing who doesn't have the deep industry knowledge in retail. However, they've reached the monetary figures I want to hit, but they're manufacturing. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. The way I look at it is, if you decide what you want, if you really want someone, for someone in retail, if you really want to get someone in retail, then you have to look for someone in retail.
Great.
And so if it's just revenue, anybody, similar businesses that has reached that revenue target could help. But if you're really looking for someone in retail, then you have to really focus on getting that mentor. The thing I might say is that seeking out relationships, you should always seek out relationships, and seeking out a relationship with your contact in manufacturing might help lead to you getting someone that's in retail.
Okay.
So you shouldn't give up and just take whatever next best thing is out there. If you have a purpose and set out plan of what you intend to achieve in a relationship, and you know it's out there, then I think you should just keep at it till you get that kind of relationship that you're really looking for. Don't just settle for because you might really not get the real benefit that you're trying to get out of that kind of relationship.
Speaking of that, so there's two ways we can go from there. But one, I really love the last thing you said, benefit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what is the benefit of having a mentor? I think we kind of glossed over that to start with. What's the real big benefit, and how important is having a mentor?
Yes, that's an important question, because some people might not understand the benefits of having a mentor. They might ask, yes, we know mentorship, we've heard about mentorship, mentorment, but how is that important to me? They might say, I don't think I need a mentor, and I think I'm doing all well by myself. But I would like to tell those people with that kind of mindset that there's a certain level you cannot get to without a mentor, and no matter whatever you're going through at a certain point in life, whether it's life in business, spiritual life, there's usually someone else who has already gone through that level. And what's the whole point of making avoidable mistakes? Apart from that, so that leads me to a mentor helps you to make to resist, or to helps you to avoid making beginners mistakes, those mistakes that you could avoid, whether in business or in life or whatever, in sports or whatever area of your life. A mentor is also important. So one of the jobs of a mentor is also to encourage you and to motivate you and to be your cheerleader. So you need that in life many times when things are going down and you're wondering how to get to the next level. Sometimes you need someone to just call you up and tell you, no, you can do this, you can. So you need that person. And a mentor also helps when you're coming up in life. Generally, your network is usually limited, but your mentor helps you and exposes you to a larger network of people, which is very important in any area of life. So you need, because usually the mentor, but not always, the mentor might be older, and the mentor is someone who would have already amassed a large network, and the mentor would help link you up into that network, which lead you into rooms you could never have entered into without that mentor. I'll just give you an example which I always find fascinating. Valerie Jarrett, former senior advisor to President Obama, and Valerie Jarrett, so how the story goes, Valerie Jarrett was interviewing Michelle Obama, and Michelle Obama wanted her to meet her fiance. They were not married then, and before she took the job or not, and she invited Obama and they had dinner, and Valerie Jarrett just decided, this young couple, and decided to take them under her wing and introduce them to the larger connected Chicago elite group, and that in a large way opened up Obama to a different network that he couldn't have had access to without Valerie Jarrett. So that's just an example, but that's really up there. And without many commentators say that without Valerie Jarrett, Obama's ascent to the presidency would have been a different story. So that's just an example of how that relationship helped open Obama to a larger network that helped to increase funding for his run to the Senate and even before the presidency.
Wow.
So that's important. That you need mentorship it's very important.
So I'm boiling down, especially from that story you said, mentorship can lead to exponential growth and outcomes that you didn't even think was possible.
Correct.
From going where President Obama wasn't even in a Senate seat yet to
the U.S. Senate. He was then in the states.
Yes, he wasn't in the U.S. Senate. Excuse me. But going from state senator,
correct, to U.S.
to a federal senator,
yeah,
and then to be president of the
United States of America.
Wow, that's mentorship.
that's mentorship, and it was really, I really love that relationship, because that leads me to one of the points. Is at the end of the day, you might end up being employed by your mentee.
Yes.
So that's one of the points when I want to talk about why it's also important. That leads me to why it's also important for the mentee, for the mentor now. So we've said, given a couple of reasons why it's important to the mentee, why you should seek a mentor, but why it's also important to the mentor now in that relationship. Even though you're impacting your knowledge and all to someone who is less experienced and less qualified, you also have benefits that you accrue to you. You become a better leader generally, and you are exposed to you probably might be exposed to an emerging market, because you're older already, and they are younger. These people are usually younger. And so you might be exposed to things you would never have thought about, and you get into that kind of circle too. But generally, you become a better leader. And another example in this kind of case now is Mark Benioff, the CEO of Salesforce.
Yes.
And he developed a relationship with Steve Jobs, where Steve Jobs would once in a while call up Mark Benioff to his office and to tutor him and help and impact into him. And it was really Mark Benioff was really grateful for that relationship. And somewhere within that time, Mark Benioff was trying to start up a sort of business. He called it the App Exchange or something. He was trying to start up, but it didn't really work out or something. But at that same time, he had registered the App Store URL, that is the appstore.com, and he had also registered the trademark of sort of App Store. And one day, Steve Jobs called him up and to a team meeting that they were having in Apple. Oh, come see what my team's about to launch. And then Steve Jobs was about to launch something similar to the App Exchange or something. But the funny thing about that story was that Mark Benioff gifted Steve Jobs the appstore.com URL. That he already had 2 years before, and the appstore.com trademark. That's why Apple has the App Store. So it's really important to understand that it's not only the mentee that is benefiting from the relationship, the mentor is also benefiting from the relationship.
Yes. How do you create this relationship? How do you go out and find a good mentor? How do you reach out to them? What are steps that you would recommend that someone should take in order to make this connection?
Yes, that's really interesting. First of all, I would start with I think that's the number one. If there was anything called mentorship 101, this would be number one. Never ask someone to be your mentor. I think that don't ask. Yeah, don't ask, can you be my mentor? And that's really, I didn't know that. I started reading articles about that years after I tried it, and I now understood why it didn't work out for me when I asked someone to become my mentor. And so from what I've read, I think there's some psychological angle to it. I think people are really taken aback. There's usually some sort of pressure that comes upon people when you immediately label it. Can you be my mentor? So there's that kind of pressure that people are not sure whether they can live up to that kind of, and they don't even know if they really want to be under that kind of pressure. Especially, usually they don't really know you. So just you appearing and saying they don't want that kind of pressure. So I did it, and I asked someone to be my mentor years back, and I didn't get a good response. And I didn't understand why I didn't get a good response, but now I know why. It doesn't usually work out. And on the flip side, you shouldn't just jump up on money and declare someone your mentee. Now, so to the point of how do you go about it, and this, what I'm going to say now, just what I gathered from listening to many TED Talks on the topic and just reading up online. So it's nothing that I devised by myself, but this is just knowledge that is already out there. And generally, the first thing, like as I said earlier, decide what you want, what your goal is, of that, what sort of relationship you're seeking to establish. So you start with a plan. What do you hope to achieve? What is that? What do you hope to achieve with that relationship? So once you determine what you hope, what your plan is, then you determine who do I seek. Or even before that, you might ask the question, who has already accomplished this thing I'm seeking to accomplish? So I think that's the other way of the question, who do I seek? Just ask who has already done this thing I'm thinking to do, or who is already living this kind of life I hope to live.
So then you create a list of people, or is it just a list with one person, this who's who I want, or should you have your second option and third option?
Usually, it's better to have as many options as possible because you're not sure that you don't have a list and have Elon Musk as your only option. You're not going to get any response from Elon Musk. So you should so you should have many names on the list.
Okay.
As many names as possible, but that are aligned to what you hope to achieve.
Okay.
So you have that list, as many names as possible, and then you craft a way of reaching them.
All right.
So now get to the question: when you reach them, what are you asking for? What are you seeking?
Now that's a really excellent point about one, what not to do, and two, to create a list. And have realistic options on that list. Also, always have your moonshot, right? Because you never know.
Sure.
But also have very realistic options on that list.
Yeah.
Now, how do you go about approaching these people?
Yes. So after getting your list of those people, and even talking about your moonshots, I would also like to, you could be as ambitious as possible, because we've had cases of people who reached out to Hillary Clinton and they got a response, and so cases like that. But I just don't think you're going to get a response from Elon Musk. That's why I single him out. Yes. Now to your
maybe on Twitter. He's very active on Twitter.
On Twitter.
But maybe,
Yeah, I don't think I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure what sort of relationship would develop from Twitter, but let's leave it at that. Yes, but so you reach out to them depending on what mode, the best mode to reach out to them.
Yes.
And that you think the kind of platform they're really active on, like you mentioned, Elon Musk is active on Twitter, so maybe you could reach out to him or LinkedIn, depending on how active they are on LinkedIn, or if by some chance you have their email address or their phone number. Usually not, but whatever way you can reach out to them. But the key thing is what you say when you reach out to them.
Yes.
And what the proven method to usually get a good response or get something developed or get that relationship started is to ask for advice on specific areas of your life.
Yes.
And if you, giving an example of a business now, and you get the introduction of what you do.
Yes.
This is how long you've been doing this, and this is where you are. These are some of the challenges you're facing. Then you move over to the next one that you know, so and so has done this and done, and imagine that the person has gone through these challenges. What would you advise me to do in this kind of case?
Yes.
So that's the best way. You introduce yourself, what you do, the challenges you might be facing, and that this person that you're seeking to develop a relationship with now has probably passed that stage or done that or faced such challenges, and you would like to get some insights of how they dealt with that kind of situation. So
Wow.
that's how you craft the message, and usually they're happy to respond. Hopefully, they respond and might give you some specific steps.
Yes.
But now is the key part.
Okay.
When they give you specific things or give you specific advice or some insight or whatever, you take it and you should apply it. Hopefully, apply it. No matter the outcome, after some time, you reach back to this person and tell them how you put that advice into practice, into use, and what the outcome has been so far.
That's good.
Then you ask another question.
That's good. So you've proven that you value the advice and that you acted upon it.
That very key that you acted upon it. I've had many cases of people who felt they wanted to develop that kind of relationship with me, and I gave them some things to do, and 2 years after they still haven't done those things, and it feels so. So now I know how it feels, and I also know how. and I know people who have told a couple of things very informally, just because of discussion, and recommended some things to them. And after some weeks, or some months, they come back telling me that they did those things or that they read that book.
Okay.
And if you know, there's a feeling that comes up when somebody takes your advice and when they put it into practice and you want to do more. So one TED talk I listened to gave the analogy he drew was with you throwing a toy. What are those things you fling to the dog? And the frisbee. Throwing the frisbee to the dog, or throwing it not to the dog, but just throwing it and getting the dog to run, go catch it, and the dog catches it and brings it back.
Okay.
Then what do? Again? You throw it again, and the dog grabs the frisbee, brings it back, wagging its tail, waiting for it to throw it. So that's how that relationship. So they tell you to do something, or they give you advice, you do it, you get back to them. They are like, wow, oh, he was actually listening. Oh, he took the advice. Okay, nice. And you're asking for something else. Okay, you're happy to do that again, and you do it again, and they go back after some months or weeks. They come back again that they did that. Wow. So by the time, if you can do that, if you're lucky, you get that relationship, you get that communication now going, and you do that maybe 2-3 times, or even 2 times. Then now is the time to ask for coffee or meeting up with them.
I see.
Or you might not need to ask for coffee. All you need to do now is, depending on who the person is, just track them where they're going to be giving a conference speech, or where if they're going to be speaking at a conference or attending any event. All you need to do is to spend some money and attend that event and meet up with them.
Yes.
But before going there, you tell them that you're also coming to that conference and you'd like to spend some time with them, if just 5-10 minutes of their time.
Oh, that's a great point, and I felt this myself. Even in sometimes I tell people you should read this book or you should do this with their business, and these aren't. I'm talking about people who are not my clients who ask me once in a while for advice, and the people who really stick out to me are the people who actually do it.
And you can imagine how it feels.
Yes, and then I don't know. Then I give them some more advice. They do it, and then in terms of, I feel I change in a way towards them in that I become invested in them.
That's the trick. You now become invested in them. Nobody needs to say, "Oh, you're my mentor," or "You're not my mentee." Just the fact that you're not invested in them, that relationship is already beginning to form.
Yeah, that is very true, because I had a wild thought. There was there's one person in particular. She's amazing. When I tell her to do something, she does it quickly, well, and it's one of my services for my consulting that I've been working around. But somehow she had a problem that she gave me, and it didn't seem like she was trying to work me or anything, but it was a problem that she said, "Hey, I'm dealing with this." It was really around communication and creating repositioning or positioning her brands. And that stuck in the back of my mind, and I found myself trying to fix the problem.
Yes.
Trying to fix the problem.
Yes.
And now to the point where I think I'm going to give her the solution, and I'm not going to charge her at all.
Exactly. That's the way it works. And so it's very funny when I listen to a TED talk where the speaker talks about he had already figured out how these things work, and he was that even when you know somebody is coming to do that to you, you can't just help it but to still fall for. So it's I think so. What that made me realize that I think it has something to do with psychology.
Yes.
So according to the TED speaker, it was like, oh, he knew the student was coming to do that to him, but he ended up still getting so invested. Getting so invested in the lady, and that's just important to. So if you know how to do that, but hopefully you're doing it with good intentions and all. But it seems that's the way to go in building such relationships.
It is. Yeah, it is. How do you maintain a mentor-mentee relationship, or does it naturally grow from that progression of events?
Yeah, very, very good question. Because I've read a lot of things to suggest that it's usually more on the side of the mentee.
Okay.
To keep the relationship, and that might be for various reasons. Maybe for some various reasons, probably the mentor is usually high up there,
Yes.
running a multi-billion-dollar industry
Yes.
or a business or whatever, or leading a large number of employees or something. So usually the mentor is usually very busy. Other mentees, other people want their time.
Yes.
They want to develop their relationship. So the demand is more than the supply. What I'm just basically saying is you need to put in a lot of effort in making sure you keep a relationship going. And then now a word now to the mentor, because in some cases too, it's somehow it's a reciprocal relationship.
Yes.
So in some way too, the mentor has to once in a while make sure he or she is reaching out.
Yes.
So if you haven't heard from them in a long while or something, you reach out, ask if they're okay, tell them that you can you can come over and see me on so day. Because one of the interesting things I got from the story of Steve Jobs and Mark Benioff of Salesforce was that Steve Jobs would call him up to come back to his office and just to tutor him and give him advice. So
Wow.
I imagine that
Wow.
sometimes a mentor or someone who's has capacity to become a mentor could also look out for interesting qualities in younger people and devote some time and make sure that you put some effort in calling them up and asking them to come over for coffee or lunch with you too. So it's both ways, but usually more work is on the side of a mentee to keep the relationship going.
Wow. No, that's really important. And so what I'm taking from that is if you really want a good mentor, sometimes you'll really have to invest a lot because flying across the country is expensive.
Correct.
Going to conference is expensive.
Correct.
Your time is expensive,
Correct.
but it's exponentially worth more to meet this person or to have the chance to meet this person.
Correct. The benefits far outweigh the challenges that you're going to face. So just a 5-minute discussion or a 10-minute discussion could be the gateway to revenue growth of probably $10 million, or I'm just trying to put some money figures to it, or just changing your life, giving you a connection that is going to take your business to the next level.
Wow.
And you can't even put a dollar figure to some of the things you benefit from those discussions, those face-to-face discussions.
And even I'm thinking from a mentor side, so many people are asking for their advice, sticking out in that, going through real pain, real struggle.
Exactly. I really found it very interesting, and it just shows the length people take to develop those relationships, and the mere fact that she was thoughtful enough to take a gift while going for that visit. So you're giving. So it might be helpful to, if you finally get that chance, to be thoughtful enough to get a gift. Nothing doesn't have to be expensive, just a book or something, whatever. But it shows how thoughtful you are, and you're going to make a bigger impression than the others that are trying to get the mentor's time.
That's it. Proverbs also speaks about giving gifts in the bosom, secret gifts. Secret gifts. That's really wow. Thank you. That's really a lot to think about, and I think people really value from hearing this and putting it into perspective. Of going out of their way and showing that same dedication to go out and meet this person is the same energy, same effort you'll use in implementing their advice.
Correct.
In implementing their advice.
Because like we said, the implementation of the advice is very key in getting the relationship started.
Exactly.
In doing whatever the outcome, it might not get you the desired outcome, but in just implementing it and getting back to them, giving them feedback on how you applied it and the outcomes, then you ask again, but just putting in what they've said to work. They might ask you to, have you read this book, or do you know and you go ahead to do that. It's magical.
Wow.
I went for an interview for my current job. I went for an interview, and just during the interview, my boss then, who is now my boss, advised me to take up a tax course because it was going to be important in advising US multinationals with outbound operations, and I hadn't taken that course. I hadn't registered for that course, but immediately I went back to school that day. I changed the registration. Yeah, but I was thinking about it now. I just can't remember if I got back to her. Well, I imagine I did, because for them to call me back after 5 months to offer me the job, I was just wondering maybe that was what was playing there. But that's just an example. So for someone in school now who is trying to get a job and thinking about, so you meet those partners or whatever, and you talk with them and you ask them for the advice, you play the manual, right? Well, what sort of courses do you think I should take? And that would be relevant, in getting a job at this firm.
Wow.
And you go and you take those courses and you get back to them and you took those courses, and hopefully you got great grades in those courses, and those courses were really helpful to you. So you get back to them and they're like, wow, this young man or young woman actually listened to me and took the courses and advice, and then you ask another question, and then from there it gets going. So it applies in many areas. It could apply in any area of life.
Wow.
Business, academic, school, with your professors, with potential prospective employers, and even in your local church, with your pastor, with your leaders.
Yes.
And they advise you to just during consultation, they tell you to do some things, and you come back and tell them, no, now these are things you're doing. Or they advise you to, it might be helpful for you to have a specific time to pray. And you come and now say, now you have a specific time you pray in the morning and in the evening. And they're like, wow, okay, this person was listening. And they take a liking to you and start giving you more advice.
We've spoken about finding a great mentor, right? And how to approach them. Now, on both sides, there are issues of bad mentors, right? So what are some red flags, things that people should look out for when they approach a mentor, before they approach one, but things to say, this won't be a great mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And also on the mentee side, maybe we can dive into a little, what are red flags on that side of this is not a great mentee?
For the looking out for a mentor, I think it goes back to what we talked about earlier, about you setting your goals and determining what you want to achieve by the relationship. I think if you spend a little time to actually think about that clearly, and that will help you, that might help to get some people out of the list, first of all, so you have people that are at least aligned to your goals.
Okay.
Then I think you should look clearly at, from whatever information you have, the personalities and whatever you have out there, whatever information you have there about the person, the sort of human being that person is. If you've heard if there are things online or whatever, some news articles that cause some red flags, then you should take those people out of your list. Or generally just news, and you don't think that person will be a good fit for you, based nothing bad or criminal or anything, but just based on their temperaments.
Okay.
From what you can get, just based on temperament, you don't think it will be a good fit for you.
Okay. So what about, let's say if the person, if somehow you find out the person's a gossip, they can't keep secrets.
Oh, great. Okay.
Would you consider that a red flag?
Yeah. That's helpful. Thank you for even bringing it. So that's really helpful. So someone who can't keep a secret or who is very flippant with himself should be avoided, and just by you even having some relationship with the person, even if you have already started that relationship, but you keep getting the person talking to you about other people and you become uncomfortable, then it might be a good time to start getting yourself out of that relationship. So it's not even just before getting into, even after getting into the relationship, at least getting into that kind of relationship, there might be something that you notice and you feel that this isn't a good fit for you, and you want to leave. So gossiping, I'm thinking about even in cases of issues with maybe men mentoring women, and the sexual attraction and things like that, which people call the elephant in the room, and one of the reasons why men don't mentor women and things like that. And the advice usually the advice is more, okay, so first of all, to the young lady, would have to do some due diligence
Yes.
to know the kind of people she's even seeking.
Yes.
So you have to spend some time to ask questions to the best of your ability, or things or whatever information you can find out there, and to determine whether that person is actually a decent human being, a disciplined person in that kind of situation before you take yourself out there. So you need to spend some time to do a lot of due diligence, especially for both young men and young women.
But that's very important because I deal with a lot of women entrepreneurs and just working with them and helping them overcome their problems. There's a lot of things they have to go through which men don't have to go through. Sexism, people hitting on them, and in entrepreneurship, there's even more pressure. So I see what you're saying in that they have to be very careful in developing the correct mentor-mentee relationships because you don't want to be put in a situation where you're with somebody who will overstep their bounds. Who will overstep their bounds. So how would you say a woman or someone of the opposite sex to say, because it can also happen with men, it's much less, but it can also, how would you say they would find out about this information? Is it something where if there's a woman reaching out to them, they may go to the women who work under him to find out how that relationship is?
Yeah.
How would they find out?
I really don't have a specific method, but it would be something like asking anybody you know who knows that person, what sort of person they are, without even getting into details of why you're asking that for that information, but just generally getting a feel from people who might have worked with this person in the past. If you, something that might be helpful is maybe looking at the platforms they are on, whether LinkedIn or social media, and see who they are connected to on those platforms. And see if you know anybody on those platforms, any mutual connection that might give you some insights to what sort of person that kind of person is.
That's very important.
So it's good to just go through the platforms and look at if you have mutual connections on any of the social media platforms out there, and see if that person can give you some insight into what sort of person that person is. So that would help you to just getting a feel of the kind of person that person is. And if you don't get good feedback, then you shouldn't go for that relationship. But the important thing is even most of the advice now that is out there has been put to the men who are in those sort of relationships. So the men that are the mentors and now the young men mentees, because the research is out that women are losing a lot by not being mentored by men for many reasons. So the advice usually now for the men, and there's a good book written on it called Athena Rising by Brad Johnson and David Smith. So there's a good book written on the topic called Athena Rising by Brad Johnson and David Smith, which gives a good process of how men could be better mentors of women. But the general advice is just for men to acknowledge if there's any attraction and get it out of the way. And get their prefrontal cortex side of the brain more on working, and push out the attraction they might feel towards ladies. And the other advice out there is that and the research out there shows that it is mostly the men who are attracted to the women, which I found very interesting, which is good to know, that it's mostly the men that are attracted to the women, and that when a man is attracted to a woman, you usually overestimate the female reaction. So you overestimate the mutual nature of that relation, of that attraction. So he's so attracted, and he thinks the woman is equally attracted to him. So the advice there is just for the men to, become thoughtful cavemen, and get the essential out of the way and focus on the job at hand and realize that even if there's some attraction there, that it's usually
One-sided.
it's usually one-sided.
One-sided.
So just get your head clear and get on the task of helping these young ladies grow in their careers and in their lives.
Do you have any recommendations on any books, last minute tips that people should really take away for this, or if they want to go dig deeper into this subject?
So, like the last book I said, Athena Rising, which is very important to help men mentor women, which I think is very important for young women. And even give an example of Sheryl Sandberg, CEO of Facebook, and how mentorship helped her to grow in her career. And I think if you also read Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg, you also get an example of that. But basically, she had a very good mentor in person of Lawrence Summers, former Treasury Secretary of the United States. So that's very important that women need men to mentor them to grow. So Athena Rising is good for men out there and even women, because it also helps the women to help determine how they want to structure those relationships. So Athena Rising by Brad Johnson and David Smith is a good book. And generally, just go. There are so many great TED Talks out there on mentorship and mentoring and whatever. So just go into TED Talks
And search mentoring.
Just search mentoring, mentorship, whatever, and see whatever comes out there.
Okay.
And listen to everything has been said on the topic, and those talks will also lead you to other reference materials.
Awesome. Now, do you have any last minute takeaway that someone should take if, after they finish this video?
Yes. I think the main thing I would like everybody to take away from this is to understand the value of those mentor-mentee relationships. They could actually change your life. They will most likely change your life for the better. And hopefully we have given good tips to help you navigate and help you get better at those relationships. Yeah. So the takeaway is just get a mentor.
Awesome.
And get a mentee.
Yes, you have to get back. So it's not just a one-way street. Even if you're at $10 million, $1 million, $150,000, wherever you're at in your business, always try to
there's
give
always
back.
someone who is just starting from that you could also reach back to and help to grow. There's always somebody who needs your help, no matter what level of life you are in. There's always someone who needs your help. So it's always great to take a break, look around, and think of who you could also help.
Definitely, and as you said, it builds leadership skills, communication skills.
So you're growing as a person too when you decide to mentor other people.
Yes.
And if you don't mentor other people, then there are some aspects that you're losing.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
We will leave his contact information below if you want to get in touch. Thank you once again, Abuka.
Thank you.
Thank you.